start for the Red Sox. He takes that losing record that brought over with him from Chicago, puts a little eraser on that. That all goes away. He simply starts all over as he works here tonight for Boston. One thing, though, Ned, he has never beaten this Toronto ball club, but he is working for a ball club tonight that has done some damage against him, certainly in the last 2 seasons, and he's working for a ball club that's going to put more runs up on the board for him than the one he just left.
Incidentally, he is 1-1 against the Red Sox this year. He doesn't have to worry about that anymore. Starting lineups right after this. The Blue Jays is Tony Fernandez at shortstop, Rance Mulliniks at third base, Lloyd Mosby in center field, George Bell in left field, Jesse Barfield in right field, Cliff Johnson, the hitter, Willie Upshaw at first base, Ernie Witt catching, and Damaso Garcia at second. The Red Sox will have Marty Barrett at second base, Wade Boggs at third, Bill Buckner at first, Jim Rice in left field, Don Baylor, the hitter, Dwight Evans in right field, Rich Gedman catching, Kevin Romine in center, and Ed Romero at shortstop. The umpires will be Larry McCoy back at the plate, Vic Voltaggio at first, Tim Welke at second, and Mark Johnson at third.
Number 42.
And out on the mound, the man that they've just been giving a standing ovation to ever since coming on from the bullpen, which was just a few moments ago, Tom Seaver walking in with pitching coach Bill Fisher. They started to cheer then. The groundswell just kept going up until now.
One of the few times I've ever seen a starter get a standing ovation going to the bullpen. Certainly seen a lot of them coming back. As Seaver about this initial start for him in a Red Sox uniform, here are his thoughts.
The one solid feeling that you have is knowing that you're going to work and being able to come here and on the first day get the press done, and then on the second day go ahead and get back into work and do the thing that I love to do is something that I think is very a stabilizing factor for me.
Well, this is Mr. Seaver in his initial pitch as a member of the Boston Red Sox. What may be a memorable night for him as he goes against Tony Fernandez, and it's foul back, strike one. We're underway.
Well, of course, if happiness has anything to do with it, this is where Seaver has wanted to be, not necessarily in Boston, but on the East Coast, closer to his home. And I can think of a lot of things that could disturb a player, and I think that's some of the things that bothered Seaver this summer.
He misses outside to Fernandez. It's 80 degrees at Fenway before a packed house. Needless to say, Fernandez is hitting .315, 4 home runs, 27 batted in. And Seaver misses high, ball 2. Tom had already been on the disabled list once this year. He's 2-6 with the White Sox in tight, ball 3. And with 4.38 earned run average, one of those wins was against the Red Sox, and one of the losses was against them, against Bruce Hurst. There's one line toward left field. That's going to drop in there. One hopper, two hopper to the wall, chased down by Rice. Tony Fernandez, who's a killer against Boston pitching, does it against the new Boston pitcher. Fernandez opens with a double. Seaver getting behind on the count, 3-1 before giving up that double.
Seaver certainly still efficient as far as any pitch and hits given up. Very good at that column, 6 below. Some things just never change, though. Fernandez against it doesn't make a difference who puts that uniform on, as long as it's got Red Sox attached to it somehow or a Boston label. Fernandez is going to get his base hits.
The pitch is just a little bit low and inside to Rance Mulliniks, the third baseman. Mulliniks hitting .270, 8 home runs, 30 batted in. The pitch is outside for ball 2. The last start that Seaver made in a White Sox uniform was on the 25th of June against the Minnesota Twins in Comiskey Park. He went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits and 3 runs. 1 walk, no strikeout. He was no decision in that game. Pounded off the foot of Mulliniks. 2 balls, 1 strike. talking to Jerome Holtzman of the Chicago papers, who's here. He's coming where the story is. He's coming where Seaver is. And he said, I don't know what he didn't look too good in there in Chicago, but he'll be pumped up tonight.
Mullenix with one off the foot, still stinging.
Sliced foul down the third base line and going into the seats. The wind is a hitter's wind tonight. It is blowing from home plate out to center field. Straight out.
Very thorough as we have a chance now to watch Seaver and start after start after start, hopefully. He's so thorough that before he made any kind of warm-up pitch from that mound tonight, he checked the firmness of the ground down the third base line, immediately in front of the mound, and down the first base line. Tells you a little something about him.
2-ball, 2-strike count to Mullenix, and the Toronto trainer is going to attend Rance. He's really bothered now by that foul ball off his right leg, right shin, apparently. That'll chloride to be sprayed on Mullenix's leg. Is really hurting. The runner at second base, Tony Fernandez. Mullenix has a count of 2-2. And he will flex her leg around a little bit now and stand in. Seaver, the classic pitching form with the leg drive that so many pitchers try to emulate. Strikes him out. Seaver gets his first strikeout. Something off the pitch that time, and Mullenix was caught leaning.
Over Seaver's career, where he has been the toughest pitcher, becomes a real pitcher, is once men getting scoring position, regardless of how many outs there are, or really what inning it is. Kind of toy around with you. He'll make you hit him into trouble, and then he'll put out all stops to prevent you from scoring.
Such a very tough competitor throughout the years. Lloyd Mosby, the center fielder, hitting .295, 12 home runs, and inside comes the pitch, ball one. Over the career of Tom Seaver, 306 wins, 198 losses, and an earned run on average of 2.84. There is Mullenix, still rubbing that right shin where he got hit. Ball is laced into left field for a base hit. Runner will be waved on. Fernandez coming. Here comes the throw from Rice. Not in time. 1-0 Toronto. An off-field single by Lloyd Mosby. He knocks in his 45th run, and quickly Toronto takes the lead. So a double by Fernandez, the strikeout by Mullenix, and a single by Mosby.
He'll be shooting that ball hard right through that gap. Hard charge put on by Rice. Too much speed at second base, though, for Fernandez to have much of a play for Rice at the plate. The throw just late, period. Edmund knocking it down to keep Mosby from making the turn at first and going to second.
Quick run for the Toronto Blue Jays off Tom Seaver. The batter is George Bell, cleanup hitter and left fielder. Bell, 318 average. Seaver will move over there. Bell has 14 home runs. He's knocked in 55. Seaver playing catch with an old rival. There's a lot of National League seasons there between Seaver and Buckner. Always playing against each other. A strike to Bell. 0-1. Bell in last night's game had one hit. It was the home run into the screen and left. He went 1 for 5. There goes the runner, chopped toward the left side, taken by Boggs. Has one play to first base and in time. Mosby took off. They had no play on him. The ball was slowly hit, so Lloyd gets into scoring position, and Bell is thrown out by Boggs.
Good play by the Red Sox third baseman, not only on his range to the left on this soft hit ball. He's got to go all the way around. Now, he's lost sight of the bag, remember. He has to pick Buckner up quickly. How accurate is that? Now, if you want to look up quickly when this play is all over, because Boggs has had to leave the bag at third for his coverage, who's over there? Number 41, Tom Seaver. Second time he's been there already in this ball game.
He misses outside to Jesse Barfield, the right fielder. Barfield at 286, 19 home runs, 56 batted in. And Jesse was held hitless last night, 0 for 4, and that's an unusual occurrence against the Red Sox. He's usually had pretty good luck against Boston. 1 ball, no, 2 balls, no strikes. Mosby at second base, 1 run in the first inning. Seaver wants another sign. Checks out with Gedman. 3 infielders on the left side, as was the case last night against Barfield. Barrett way over on the third base side of second. And they work Barfield outside again. Ball 3. Bill Buckner, the only infielder on the right side, as a phalanx of fielders over there in white on the left side of the infield, and Buck out there. Outfield straight away. Barfield goes for 3-0, fouling it off. 3 balls and 1 strike. Seaver, 41 years of age, from Fresno, California originally, now lives in Greenwich, Connecticut. Last year with the White Sox won 16 games with that club. He walks Barfield. Runners at first and second. First walk given up by Tom. Now Cliff Johnson comes up. Johnson was held in check very effectively last night by everybody. He went 0 for 5, struck out twice against Al Nipper. Seaver missing outside, ball 1. He will work a hitter. He's always had control through his career. Led the Mets to the pennant and world championship in '69. Picks up the strike. And it's 1-1 to Johnson, who has 10 home runs and 38 runs driven in with that .291 average. Steers it away, and it's ball 2. Seaver dramatically won his 300th victory last August in New York against the Yankees, just before that mini strike mess that happened. The Red Sox were in Chicago at the time to play there. Ground ball right side to Barrett. And they get 1 run, that's all. They leave 2. Toronto gets a run in the first. And at the end of 1 inning, it's Toronto 1 and the Red Sox coming up. Bottom of the first inning at Fenway Park. The Toronto Blue Jays off to a quick 1-0 lead against Tom Seaver. And facing Seaver tonight, an old adversary of the Red Sox, whom, well, they have a pretty good record against him over the years, Doyle Alexander.
He can be the type of pitcher, though, that can give the Red Sox hitters some trouble because of the various speeds of pitches that he throws. And if he's got pretty good control, which he usually will have, he can tease some hitters to death. 5-3 record on the year. This will be start number 17 for him. Has not had a decision in his last 2 starts. A 3.99 earned run average. He's given up 18 home runs. That's been the soft spot as far as Alexander is concerned. Strong and base on balls, though. He's walked just 18 in 108 innings of work. And if these Toronto Blue Jays are to do any kind of damage, obviously, in this American League East race, they certainly have to do something with Steve. And this man, Doyle Alexander, has to be considered their kingpin because he is one of the more stable kind of guys, consistent guys that they've had on that staff in a long time.
The last start was his shortest outing, actually. He only went 3 1/3 innings. His last win was against the Milwaukee Brewers, 9-2, and that was over 2 weeks ago, the 16th of June. So he is primed and ready. Over his career, the Red Sox have beaten him 11 times. Or rather, they have beaten him 15 times. He has beaten the Red Sox 11 times. 11 and 15 career-wise against Boston. And also, this year, is 0-1. Roger Clemens beat him up in Toronto in that long rain delay game.
That's something that did make Mr. Alexander very happy at the time. He knocked front office management about holding that game up so long for 2 reasons. One, because of the rain, and secondly, because they were facing Roger Clemens. He didn't figure that there was much need in playing that game if they didn't absolutely have to.
Well, in a way, you know, it was a business decision, I guess, because they had a good advance sale. But you don't want to be facing Clemens in the middle of a hot streak, rain or no rain. And true enough, Clemens beat them. Marty Barrett, who makes a habit lately of getting a hit his first time up in a game, takes a strike from Alexander. Barrett is up that average to 286. Had a fine game last night. 4 hits. This time he may be retired. Barfield under it in right. And they finally get Barrett in the first inning. He'd gone 5 straight games getting a base hit right off the bat. So Barrett is out, and Wade Boggs comes up, hitting .382 with 5 home runs, 38 batted in. He had 3 hits last night, and a very big sacrifice that was good in the 10th inning to get Barrett, who led the inning with a single, up to second base and set the stage for all the walks, the hit batsman, and the walk to Evans that eventually won it. Mullenix gingerly kind of limping around there at third base. A ball. Detroit at New York. The Tigers did not score in the top of the first. Yankees now batting. It's Frank Tanana against Doug Drabeck. Two and nothing. Milwaukee at Baltimore. Bill Wegman against Flanagan tonight, Mike Flanagan. Boggs looks at ball 3. Minnesota plays at Texas. The White Sox are at California. And Cleveland won a laugher today, beating Oakland this afternoon in Oakland 9-0. Ball 4. Boggs draws a walk. He's on with 1 out. Bill Buckner hitting .238, 8 home runs, 40 batted in. In that Cleveland-Oakland game, 9-10-0 for Cleveland, 0-7-1 for Oakland, and a lot of people were thrown out of that one. Dave Stewart, a pitcher, was ejected in the 7th, along with Pat Corrales, the Cleveland manager, and acting manager Jeff Newman of Oakland. Obviously a beanball incident. Pop up towards shortstop and Fernandez. Buckner is out. There are 2 away in the Red Sox first. And Boston strong boy Jim Rice coming up. A single, a double, and a home run last night. Three for 5. Getting him up to .330 in average. He has 7 homers and 53 batted in. Went almost 2 months before hitting a home run at Fenway. Last one was early in May until last night. Mel Hall hit 2 homers for the Cleveland Indians today. Brooke Jacoby hit 1. There's a strike. Tony Bernazard hit 2. Indians had 5 homers in that game in that 9-0 win over Oakland. The Indians staying right up in there in the pack in the American League East. Rice goes to right field. Base hit. Boggs takes the turn. He will hold there, will not run on Barfield. And runners are at first and second with 2 away.
Unless Boggs has a chance to look up and catch Barfield going way to his left or way to his right, he can forget about third base. Barfield blessed with a real rifle type of arm. I think Boggs just tiptoed around there to see where that throw may go. That was about it.
A white streak coming into the cutoff man. Don Baylor up. And he's hit by a pitch. Third time in the series. Bases loaded. He got hit twice last night. And on he creeps toward 243.
He just doesn't budge up there. That ball not that far off the plate. Of course, he crowd the plate, always has in his career. He just doesn't give. He doesn't budge. He just takes them, goes about his way. He, by now, I'm sure, has a little bit of a knack. That ball, kind of a glancing blow off the forearm. Nonetheless, it's one that does a little more than stings.
But he's not doing it against Nolan Ryan, thank heaven, anyway, right now. Or people who can throw hard. That ball did sting a little bit more than some of the knuckleballs he's taken. Dwight Evans is the batter with the bases loaded. It was Evans who walked last night in this situation in the 10th inning to force in the winning run. He had 3 RBIs last night. He has a total of 42 now. 0-1 from Alexander.
Dwight's been working the last couple of days with a little stiff neck that Gedman had earlier in the year. It doesn't bother him as much to swing as it does to really throw, although it didn't bother his throwing last night.
Into him for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wind blowing out, remember. Toronto leading 1-0 in the first. Off speed. Inside. Ball 2. Baylor, Rice, and Boggs around the horn, first to third on the bases. High fly ball to left field. That wind may help this one. They are going to let it play off the wall. And 3 runs will score. 3-0, 3-1 Boston. A wall double by Dwight Evans drives in 3.
Talking about timely. If there's less than 2 outs, you don't score maybe but 1 run on this ball, maybe 2. But with the 2 outs and the bases loaded, that ball's hit. Everybody's tracking. Ball skidding that wall on the way down. Here comes Mosby on the back up to get it in. Everybody scores.
3-1 now. The Red Sox take a quick lead, and this is another explosive first inning for them. They got 3 in the first last night. Rich Gedman up. Ball 1. On the outside corner. 1-1. Gedman, 267. 1 hit last night. He also had a walk and a sacrifice. The bunts were getting down pretty nicely last night. Hard swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Montreal and the Cubs went 7 innings. Game that was suspended due to darkness. They'd had a rain delay earlier, and that will be resumed Wednesday at 1 o'clock before a regular game. 0-0 it was his score after 7. 2 ball, 2 strike count to Gedman. Slap foul, 2-2. Chili Davis hit a 2-run homer for San Francisco in the first inning, putting them ahead of Atlanta 2-0. Two ball, 2 strike count to Rich Gedman. And it's ripped into left center field. That will get another run home. Evans comes on to score. Gedman goes for 2. He's got him. 4-1. Hard shot to the gap in left center by Rich Gedman.
Just watch him play. It's awfully pretty. Timely hitting once again, this time by Gedman. He shoots the gap. He'll trade places with Dwight Evans at second. Timely hitting indeed.
So very quickly, the 1-0 lead he erased. Another big first inning for Boston. Kevin Romine takes the strike. The youngster up from Pawtucket who was in the lineup last night in place of the ailing Tony Armas, the bad ankle. Tony was hitting today, taking hitting. It's a little better, but not able to play. Off-speed pitch, strike 2. Romine went hitless in 5 trips. He did score a run. Gedman at second. And that's all for Romine and the Red Sox. But 8 come to bat, and 4 of them score. And after 1 inning, Boston leads 4-1.
More time, the Red Sox do a little demoralizing work to an opponent early. They answer a 1-0 lead with 4 of their own. Capped off, really started all by the double by Evans. Hit the left field wall on the way down. Everybody running a course on the 2-out swing of the bat. 4 RBIs now for Dewey and 1 at bat, actually.
Yep.
Going back to last night.
And
not counting that
walk.
Right.
Plus 2 with 9 innings earlier than that. So he's got himself a pretty good series going. Willie Upshaw is the batter. A 1-ball, 1-strike count to the first baseman. He's hitting .265. 2 homers and 31 runs batted in. Seaver is down low. Evans has knocked in 6 runs in the series so far. Little pop-up left side, and Wade Boggs. Upshaw is out. We'll have a station break on the TV 38 Red Sox Network.
You are tuned to WLBZ, Channel 2, Bangor.
At Fenway Park, it's Ernie Whitt, the catcher for the Blue Jays, at the plate in the second inning. 1 out. Toronto trailing the Red Sox 4-1. Tom Seaver ran into a little bumpy trouble in the first inning, giving up the double to Fernandez and a single to Mosby, and also walking Barfield, but the 1 run was all they could get. Check swing, foul. Whitt with 8 home runs, 26 batted in. Had a couple of singles last night, drove in a run. Hammers 1 foul. They play him that way most of the time anyway, to pull. 0-2. Yankees got a couple of runs for Doug Drabek in the first inning down at New York. They lead the Tigers and Tanana 2-0 after 1. Milwaukee 2, Baltimore 0 in the second at Baltimore. Seaver comes in tight. A ball. And look at that drive, that leg drive that he still has had all his career. And he shoves off from that mound. Here's a base hit to right center field. Pulled out there now by Ernie Whitt. A 1-out single and the 3rd Toronto hit.
He looked like he's really trying to work down, certainly down. It had some good turn on that ball. Of course, Whitt just really eats up pitches that from the knees down. Good shot from the side at those Tom Seaver legs.
Knee gets scraping on the dirt all the time. There is a strike to the number 9 hitter, Damaso Garcia, who's at 284 with 2 home runs, 26 batted in. To third, and it's a fair ball. Boggs to second, out at second base. Ernie Witt is called out. Welke right in there on the play, on the good angle, and they get the force and knock down the lead man. 2 out.
Not only a good play by Wade Boggs, but a heads-up play. This ball takes a little funny bounce on him. He says, I got a catcher running going from first to second. I'll take the force play on him. He would have had to really come up and fire strongly to go all the way across that diamond to get Garcia. Plenty of time to knock off Witt, though, on the force play.
2 out. Fernandez, the batter, doubled and scored in the first inning. Fastball, ball 1. He had 2 singles and a double last night along with a walk, and he reached on fielder's choice, but that was the 3rd out of the inning. He scored 2 runs. He had a perfect leadoff man's night last evening. One ball, 1 strike.
This really bugs Tom Seaver or any pitcher of his type. Bob Gibson, certainly one of them. They like to get that ball. They like to get into a routine, a timed routine for them, and go, go, and go. That hitter backs on like Fernandez does there. That bugs them a little bit.
Line drive right to Barrett. Marty Barrett with the catch. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Red Sox leading 4-1.
Jays play again here tomorrow night at Fenway Park. Game time is 7:35. And the pitcher of the month for June, Roger Clemens, will be working for the Boston Red Sox against the Blue Jays left-hander Jimmy Key. Red Sox and the Blue Jays also play on Wednesday night at game time at 7:35. Let's make that Thursday night to add on to tomorrow night's game. Seattle Mariners will be coming to Fenway to play the Red Sox on Friday night at 6:05. That's the 4th of July. Saturday afternoon at 1:05 and Sunday afternoon at 3:05. Note the game change there. Saturday and Sunday's game against the Mariners will be Red Sox wristwatch weekend at Fenway. First 17,000 fans entering the park age 21 and over will receive a free Red Sox Budweiser wristwatch. The Oakland A's come to Boston for 3 games beginning next Monday, July the 7th at 8:05. Tuesday and Wednesdays, July 8th and 9th. Those game times at 7:35. Get your tickets at the Red Sox ticket office, or you can call them at 267-1700.
Garth Orge is the new 3rd baseman for the Toronto Blue Jays. That wrap off the shin on the foul ball is enough to get Rance Mullenix out of there. So Orge is the new 3rd baseman and will bat in Mullenix's number 2 spot. This is why he's out of there. Why Mullenix, after giving it a try, had to leave. Romero is the batter, and it's a 2-ball, no strike count. Eddie Romero punched in a very important double in last night's game in the 6th inning when the Red Sox scored 4 times. To shortstop Fernandez. Takes it exploding at his feet, gets rid of it in a hurry, and Romero is out. Tony Fernandez. The more you see of him, the more you like him. His play both offensively and defensively for these Blue Jays. The reason that they were able to trade Alfredo Griffin. Marty Barrett flied to right field in the 1st. Ball 1. Red Sox leading 4-1 as they bat in the 2nd. There's a strike to Marty. Barrett in the 4-hit game last night went from 277 to 286, a 9-point jump. He's 0 for 1 tonight, though. He's 285 now. Deflected to second base and taken care of by Garcia. That ball's headed for center field and would have made it, but Alexander deflected it. It's a 1-4-3 play on Barrett.
Alexander covering himself up nicely. He gets that glove up just quickly enough to slow it down, change directions. Garcia able to stop his movement to the right, return, and throw out Barrett.
Boggs, the hitter. A ball. Monty mentioned Roger Clemens has been named pitcher of the month, and why not, for the month of June. Boggs goes to left center field to the wall. It is going to be high off the wall, and Boggs coming into second base will slide with a double.
Boggs with his 22nd double of the year, starting to take a little more work now. He's starting to spray that ball around the ballpark. Baltimore wanted him to pull the ball. He said, "Art, I'll pull it. I'll get my base hits over there." He returns to Fenway, one of his favorite places, of course, playing a little pepper with that ball. Once again, Bell gets caught in too close, and Mosby has to make the throw on the backup.
With Boggs at second, 2 out. Buckner is the batter. He popped to shortstop in the first. Ball 1. Clemens has already been named pitcher of the month twice this year. Once in April, of course, for that great game against Seattle, a 20 strikeout game, and others. And in the month of June, well, he just roared. 6 wins in the month. 2-0 to Buckner. Wind whipping out. More from first towards second toward the wall now. And Buck lets the breaking pitch go down for ball 3. It is 3-0. Mosby picking up a little grass and determining the wind himself out in center field. There's a strike to Buck. 3 balls, 1 strike. Breaks it down to second base, bobbled by Damaso Garcia, but he recovers in time, and that is the inning with 1 hit and 1 left. At the end of 2, Boston 4, Toronto 1. Red Sox, 3rd inning. Monty.
We'll just move this right along here. Oh, a lot of business to get done sometimes. Garth Oyge up there first for the Toronto Blue Jays. He coming into this game in the top of the, or actually the bottom of the 2nd inning with the injury to Mullenix. Seaver on that outside corner for strike 1. Gorge hitting .262. He's had 2 homers and 18 RBI. Gorge sees times against right-handers at any rate. Certainly he did in Toronto in that series up there when Garcia was out of the Blue Jay lineup. He was playing second base in place of Garcia. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Tried to reach the high one from Seaver and couldn't do it. The count is even at 2-2. No reason for Seaver to smile already tonight. Red Sox got him 4 runs in the first. Fly ball, lazy fly ball into center field. Romine has it. 1 away. At the press conference held around the ballpark here yesterday with the experience of a Tom Seaver, he was asked did he figure he could help another Red Sox pitcher on this staff, mainly Roger Clemens.
Somebody asked me if there's anything I could do to help Clemens, and I said I certainly think there is. There's two things. When I'm home, tell him what time the game starts, and when I'm on the road, to tell him what time the bus leaves.
That's not the size of it. Very realistic.
How about that for some help? Clemens, of course, 14-0, looking for 15 tomorrow night. Mosby all the way around in the cut, 0-1. Mosby with that RBI single to left. Kind of brought a little frown to Mr. Seaver's face in that first inning. But that was it for the Blue Jays, just one on the 2 hits. Tries to bunt his way on this time. Gedman out, really got in the way of Seaver there. Seaver really a cat off that mound. It would have been a close play had Seaver been able to fill it. He would really had to have stayed down and thrown right in that position. And Mosby will be given a base hit.
It was a nice bunt by Lloyd Mosby. Kind of just held the bat back, let it fall off the bat, softed it out there, then Gedman got crossed up going out for it. It goes as a base hit on the bunt single, and nothing Seaver could do about it right at this point.
Next time that happens or that situation comes about, Gedman will be standing right at that plate telling him where to throw it. So probably won't get in his way. That's just not being familiar with the pitcher and the coverage that Seaver has off that mound. Little delay because of, once again, a beach ball loose out in toward the triangle in right center field. Here's George Bell. Rather a healthy cut there, I'd say, by the Toronto left fielder.
Well, he jumped at this as if it's gone downtown on the little slider by Tom Seaver. Toronto's the only club he has not beaten. Pitching for Chicago, of course, he hasn't beaten them. He has a chance, though.
Looping fly ball, right center field. On comes Evans. He has it. They got Bell going to the opposite way. 2 down. 0-4 career-wise against the Toronto Blue Jays. Notice that note on the Red Sox stats today that you just mentioned about the Blue Jays being the only club he did pitch or hadn't won a game against. Everybody else in the big leagues he has, though. And oddly enough, 2 pitchers hooked up here tonight. Seaver with 2 clubs that he hasn't beaten. Doyle Alexander has beaten every club in the big leagues. Wild swing by Barfield, no contact, 1-1 to count. Red Sox leading 4-1. That number right there, you combo that on the back of Tom Seaver. And Mrs. Tom Seaver, along with one of the 2 daughters, Nancy, in the very pretty blue.
She hasn't missed too many of his games, no matter where he's pitched.
Actually, I suppose that's both daughters right there. And daughter Sarah, I would guess, would be the taller-looking young lady. She was born in 1971. I'm not sure if the other young girl there is Ann or not. Born in October of 75. Barfield on the hip of Tom Seaver. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mosby, the runner at first, with 2 down in the Toronto 3rd inning. Out of play.
Actually, Seaver pitched 2 very fine games against the Red Sox earlier this year, back in April. In the first week of the season, on the first road trip, he beat him 3-1, and he lost to them 2-1 here. They only got 3 runs off him in 15 innings. Bruce Hurst both times.
Hurst has had a thing against, or going for himself against the White Sox, too, in his somewhat short career in the big leagues. The colder, the better. They really tie up Barfield, and he fouls it off his foot.
We'll get Ron Shepard ready pretty soon to come in the outfield. It's just, these guys keep putting themselves out of ball games.
That's a big-time foul ball there because it didn't lose much velocity on its way down to Boggs, who's playing fairly deep at third.
Big cut by Jesse on a pitch that was just biting in on him, and slammed it right off the foot, the left foot.
A little more movement now on that Seaver fastball. He'll make it do a few more things. Admittedly, the velocity, and understandably, not there that it once was. There's the breaking ball. Not only perfectly thrown, but maybe just a bit out of that strike zone. That's the second strikeout for the Red Sox right-hander. And the Blue Jays do not score on a hit. They leave one. And after 2.5, Boston leads 4-1.
Changes because of national TV network commitments. The Red Sox-Seattle Mariners game at Fenway on Sunday, July 6th, will now start at 3:05, and the game with the Oakland A's on Monday, July 7th, will now start at 8:05.
Bottom of the third inning for the Red Sox. Jim Rice, Don Baylor, and Dwight Evans to face right-hander Doyle Alexander of the Blue Jays. Alexander with a little sneaky fastball there right by Jimmy. Rice with a base hit to right field in the Red Sox first inning. Put runners at first and second at that time. Alexander making this start tonight with 3 days rest. The first time he's done that this year. But he would be of the type pitcher that could probably do that and not have a lot of problems with it. Of course, earlier in this game of professional big league baseball, you always worked on 3 days of rest. Maybe the designated hitter had a little something to do with that, with more innings for starters because they were not pinch hit for in the 5th or 6th innings, or sometimes earlier. Once again, the delay, a beach ball out in the triangle in right center field. Maybe Rice wanted to do a little umpiring, and home plate umpire Larry McCoy looked like he wanted to give him the ball strike indicator. Two balls, one strike. Foul away on the opposite side. The count evens now to Jimmy, 2-2. Alexander, as a starter in 1985, made 4 such starts with only 3 days rest, and in those events had a 1-1 record with a couple of no decisions. And it's a full count now to Rice. Boston leading 4-1 as we start off the bottom of the third inning. Each team with 4 hits. The payoff to Rice. Pop foul back and out of play. Alexander against that start, or the start against Roger Clemens in Toronto on that 2-hour and 47-minute rain delay night, worked a complete game, giving the Red Sox 3 runs, but that was just enough for Roger Clemens on 6 hits. Walked 1. He struck out 9, did Alexander. Roger beat him 3-2. Toward the gap in left center, George Bell cannot get to it. Rice around first with a turn. He'll go for 2. The throw not in time, and Rice has a double. He continues to lead the American League in doubles. That is number 25 for the Red Sox left fielder. So this time he gets the head of the bat out on that 3-2 pitch, not thinking about right field on this one at all. Bell tried to get there to cut it off, but just couldn't get there in time. Good strong throw, just too late. Don Baylor fouls that one away. Career-wise, Jim Rice now 27 base hits and 68 at-bats against Doyle Alexander. There's that turn by Rice. The throw, you look right down the barrel of it from left field. 0-1 to Baylor. High fly ball, shallow center field. Now Mosby dropped backs a couple steps to get set. Rice tags. He's coming to third. The throw gets by the third baseman and backed up nicely by Alexander to save a run there. Orange could not handle the throw. The Red Sox, with some aggressive base running, took advantage of it. Maybe that throw got caught up in the slide of Jim Rice, and Orange could not see it because I don't think he even gets a glove on it. So although Baylor doesn't really get to the right side, he gets the job done with nobody out. He'll advance Rice as Rice tags, and he'll come hard to third. The ball hit Rice on the slide. So Orange would not have had a chance. It didn't make any difference if he had seen it or if he didn't. Alexander right where he should be, though, to back that play up to keep that ball out of the Toronto dugout. The big production guy for the Red Sox tonight, Dwight Evans, a 3-run double. Pops it into shallow right field. Strong throwing arm in Barfield. Rice will just stand. He will not come on this. Cut off by Upshaw. No chance for Rice to tag and score on that ball to right. So that's out number 2 in the Red Sox third. And it'll be up to Rich Gedman to try to plate Jim Rice. Gedman a double to left center following Evans' double in that Red Sox first inning. And driving in Evans with the 4th Red Sox run, manager Jimmy Williams. Alexander with that little kind of sidearm squirter pitch, too low to Gedman, 1-0. And that one is outside. Red Sox batters against Toronto this year. Rice has the most base hits against him with his 2 tonight. He now has 10 base hits already in this just the 5th game against the Blue Jays. Hit hard, but Garcia does not have it. He flips it up. He turns. Not in time at first, and Boston leads 5-1 as Rice scores from third. Garcia tried to put the Olay on it, actually had the ball in his glove and flipped it out. Flipped it up close enough to him in the air so that he could get to it and try to recover, but his throw too late, and Gedman beats it out. This ball really smoked by Ritchie. Garcia just flipped it right up in the air. Now he'll have to chase it, turn, and try to throw. Too late to Upshaw. Kevin Romine, the hitter, checking on that scoring on the Gedman play. Looks like it's going to be a base hit, and it is. A base hit for Gedman, his 2nd RBI of the night. Romine to Orange and past him. This ball will look for the corner. It's going all the way into the corner. Here comes Gedman. He's waved around third. There will be no throw to the plate. And Gedman comes all the way around from first, and it's 6-1 Boston. Kevin Romine with a double.
Well, the Rook gets his base hit now. Not his first one as a member of the Red Sox, but the first one since coming back. He ripped it, and it got down involved in that corner. And when it gets involved there and goes back and forth, Laxman says, come on, Richie. Gedman scores. 6-1 Boston.
More timely hitting by the Red Sox. Certainly by Gedman. That ball there down deep in that corner. He'll only get as far as the cutoff man as Gedman is held up by Romero, and it's 6-1 Boston. 2 in here in the third. Here's Ed Romero. Oh, tailing sinker to Eddie. 1-1 the count. Dennis Lamp in the game last night for the Blue Jays actually was not affected as he let the Red Sox get back in the game. Eddie lays off a high pitch from Alexander, and it's 2-1. Four in the first, 2 here in the third. 6-1, Boston leads. Eddie out in front of the off-speed pitch from Alexander. RBI number 25 for Getty on the year. And for Kevin Romine, his second major league run driven in. Had 1 last year. Inside, and it's a full count now to the Red Sox shortstop. Ball 4 as it tails off the plate inside. And Romero will work his way to first. That's the second walk given up by Alexander. Barry Williams in a quandary, as you might guess he would be. He is seeing one of his better pitchers get wrapped around a little bit early in this ball game. Alexander being touched so far for 7 hits and 6 Red Sox runs. Witt with his word over for Alexander, back behind the plate. Marty Barrett ready to step in. Alexander flagged down a sure base hit for Barrett. His last time up, Marty 0 for 2 on the night. That play in the second off of Alexander's glove right to Garcia, who had stopped and backtracked. Fielded in time to throw out Marty. And Alexander off the mark once again. Or is he? Nope, he's on the inside corner. 1-1 to Marty. Red Sox continue to play kind of spread out baseball. If it's not the top part of the order doing damage to you, it's the middle. If it's not the middle, it's the bottom part. And Marty's been at both ends of it on different occasions. Earlier in the year, when he was batting lower in that lineup, 7th and 8th on occasions, he often was a spoiler for the Red Sox. When since he's moved to that leadoff spot, I'm not so sure he hasn't been more of a spoiler, Ned.
He's been kind of the upbeat ambassador for this team, too, in the last month or so. He's the guy that keeps saying, we're going to get him tomorrow, forget about the loss, and has become sort of a spokesman for them. Even though he's not the captain, he is the live wire on the group.
He's down in the count here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A little bit too much time. Now Alexander with a little pitch change as he wipes up on the shirt. Hardy doing a fly ball to left field, curling toward the seats and out of play. Broken bat. He'll have to make a trip to the dugout. That might have been the favorite one. The way he had the little pause at the plate and looked at it, and that little shake there says, maybe.
Had to tell it goodbye.
Sometimes that's really a hard thing to do. You get one that just feels right to you, and especially one that you've been getting a lot of base hits with. I don't know if Marty's one of those hitters that bone their bats. They get the big suit market bone and attach it, actually bolt it down.
Here is where it comes off him, right off the thin part, right near the handle. The little foul ball down the line, and he sees it and says, see you later.
Take that big soup bone, take the barrel of the bat, rub it back and forth, get that grain all nice and tight up there. This one again foul, but not on a broken bat. A lot of hitters spend hours sitting in front of that bone. Some guys have used different types of beverage bottles that had a smooth round edge on them. They'll sit there and bone the bats pretty much the same way. Some hitters think it's a waste of time. A lot of hitters feel like it makes that bat, because you put the grain a little closer together, makes it a lot harder. I guess in some ways it does. The waste of time, though, is when you bring it out and break it on the first swing. Again, Marty goes foul, and another broken bat.
Oh. That's getting costly.
Alexander can be a little tricky with that off-speed pitch. He kind of squirts it out of his hand. It's a changeup that he'll throw, even a changeup off the changeup. And I think where Marty is getting is down a bit toward the end of the bat, at least on this one.
This time it comes riding in on him. The movement got him. And the bat goes again. And son of a gun, or words to that effect.
Some hitters will keep, maybe 4 or 5 bats all set. They'll mark them game bats, and they won't use them at any other time. And out of that 4 or 5, they'll pick maybe 1 or 2 that come out in their order and in the way they would like to use them. If he breaks one, now he goes to his second best one, then his third best one, so on down the line. Sometimes you can't get a bat order quick enough to satisfy you. Maybe that's what's upsetting Marty a little bit. They're breaking his favorite stock. Base hit to center field. So it was all worth it as Romine will come around to score. And Romero to third. Boston leads 7-1. Marty Barrett once again into the action, has driven in his 23rd teammate of the year.
Well, if that was his third best bat, it did a pretty good job. He finally got it ironed out and put it into center field on this pitch. The ball riding in on him again. He picked it up nicely. Drives it in there to knock in a run for the 7-1 lead.
So the move is being made. Jimmy Williams standing at the mound. Dennis Lamp will be making his way in from the Toronto bullpen. And with the Red Sox leading this one by a score of 7-1, you're watching Red Sox baseball from Fenway.
He pitched a third of an inning, and not a very effective third last night, in giving up 4 hits and 3 runs. Lamp on the year is 2-4. In his 26th appearance now, he has 1 save on the year and a 6.55 earned run average. Lamp in 44 innings has given up 59 hits, 32 earned runs, 15 walks, and 22 strikeouts.
And with 3 runs in, bring it on.
Boy, oh boy, what a notice for July 1st.
Lamp's first action, a little toss over to first to check on Barrett. 3 runs in the Boston third. Boggs up with 2 down, runners at first and third. The efforts by Alexander now becomes his shortest of the year. His last start had been his shortest, working 3 innings. In this one, he's gone 2 2/3, giving up 7 runs on 8 hits, responsible for 2 runners. He walked 2, struck out a batter, and he hit Baylor. Those hit Batman, that one hit Batman to Baylor in the first, kept the inning alive, loaded the bases, made it possible for Evans to unload him with the double. Lamp is right on that outside corner as that pitch tails away from Boggs. 2-1. Pitch is spoiled as it goes away into the upper deck. 2-2. Red Sox once again tonight have done damage with 2 outs. There were 2 outs in the first before they did the majority of their scoring. To left field, George Bell, right on the edge of the warning track, hauls it in. So Lamp retires Boggs to end the Red Sox 3rd inning, but more damage done by the Boston team as they come up with 3 more, and after 3 full innings of play, lead the Blue Jays 7-1.
Against Seattle Friday night, July 4th at 6. Sunday afternoon at 3 over most of these stations, so check your local listings.
Tom Seaver to face the designated hitter of the Blue Jays, Cliff Johnson, here as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Boston leading 7-1, out hitting the Blue Jays 8-4. The 30,000 plus fans in here tonight are being treated to a double treat, actually. Not only are they seeing a long-time, highly respected veteran pitcher Tom Seaver work for his first time in a Red Sox uniform, but they're watching the boys with a little offense work tonight. 7 runs here through 3. There goes the bat. There goes Boggs.
Hey, don't fight it. It'll get you. Boggs did exactly the thing he should have done on that. Retreat. Ball getting away, as it so often does here with Cliff Johnson. Boggs giving ground. There you go, Wade.
It's pretty close to being our distance record of the year, maybe.
Close. I think Winfield has that to short, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, probably. He's had a few more people mad at him, that's for sure. Cliff just gets a piece of that one. It hit Gedman's glove and then would not stay in there. So the count will hold and a ball and 2 strikes. If you happen to notice Seaver on any of the close-ups smiling a little bit tonight, it won't be from cockiness or anything to that effect. He's had more runs scored for him here tonight. Exactly, as a matter of fact, twice as many runs as he's had scored for him in any of his decisions this year with the White Sox. The most they had scored for him was 3. Right back up the middle and into center field. So Seaver could not put away Johnson as he had him on a hip, a ball and 2 strikes. And that's the 5th Toronto base hit.
Looked as if he might get Cliff with breaking stuff outside. This one too much in on the other side of the plate, tailing into Clifford, and he took care of it.
First baseman, Upshaw. Blue Jays, for the most part, have been kept in the ballpark, although they had a couple of round trippers last night. High sky. Just behind the bag at second, Romero. 1 down. So with 1 down, that'll bring up the catcher, Ernie Whitt. And on at first for the Blue Jays, 1 down. Whitt kept his hitting streak alive. It's up to 5 now as he singled to center in the 2nd inning. Blue Jays, with some people on hitting streaks last night, had those chopped up a little bit. Whitt was not one of them. First ball, Hunting fouls it off the plate and then off of him on the upper body. Baltimore has bounced back in that game against the Brewers down at Memorial Stadium. Milwaukee took a 2-0 lead into the 4th inning. Baltimore scored 3 in the bottom half of the 4th. They now lead the Brewers 3-2 as they play in inning number 5. Wegman against Flanagan in that one. No change in the Detroit Yankee score. It's still 2-0 New York after 3.5 at the stadium. Low and inside is Seaver to Whitt, 1-1. Minnesota and Texas just underway. No score after 1. Portugal against Huff. To left field this time, and Rice will turn to play off the wall. He'll come to second with the throw. He'll hold Whitt to the long single as Upshaw turns the corner at second, or excuse me, Johnson turns the corner and goes to third.
To the opposite field this time for Whitt, who's a pretty good pull hitter. They work him away, and he goes this way, taking use of the wall. Rice correctly throws to second base, holding the single, and runners at first and third with 1 out.
Rice with that throw to second will hold Whitt at first. The double play kept in order with 1 down. Here's Damaso Garcia. Tries to reach the breaking ball, doesn't get it, 0-1. John McNamara, Bill Fisher, very familiar, not only with the traits of Tom Seaver, but aware of Quinn, and a good stop by Gedman there. Ooh.
Ritchie with the body, getting over there, smothering it with the glove. He's in back of it anyway.
1 ball, 1 strike to Garcia. Pop foul, back out of play, 1-2. Kind of surprised at some of the reports concerning the lack of desire on McNamara or Fisher's part to have Seaver come here. They seem to be very much in favor of it.
I think they're ecstatic, really. They know how the man works. He won 40-odd ball games for McNamara in the 3+ seasons he pitched for him in Cincinnati.
Two and two to Garcia, 1 down. And the off-speed pitch just misses. Full count now. The Red Sox leading 7-1. I wouldn't expect there to be any kind of base advancement, although they're not holding Witt on at first. He stays right there, and it's ball 4. So Garcia has the walk. That's something that's a little hard to do.
You have to persevere to walk him. He doesn't like to ever take a walk.
It's just the 10th base on balls to Garcia. Mike Brown will take the wraps off and loosen in the Red Sox bullpen. Bill Fisher out to the mound with Seaver and Gedman. Bases loaded for the Blue Jays as we play here in the top of the 4th inning. A 6-run lead for Boston.
Fell down off that left ankle a little bit off to the first base side on that pitch. I don't know that it meant anything.
Oh, he takes a stride like a pitcher would be maybe 6'7" or 6'8". Big long stride to use that drive as he pushes off that rubber. I think he may have landed a little bit on the side of that hole that's being dug out in front. Here's Fernandez and could be trouble. He has been, at least.
I think I'd rather face Bell or Mosby than this guy at the plate.
I'm not so sure that most of the, well, lately you're certainly right. The guy has been hot. Back up toward the middle and into the middle. Into center field. Johnson will score. Here comes Witt. He will score. As the throw comes through, Garcia stops at second, and Fernandez once again has delivered a strong base hit for these Blue Jays.
You just cannot get him out in this series. He rifles on right past Seaver into center field, and that's 2-run territory. It's covered by Romine. He slips a little bit on this throw, and so does the ball slip, and it's not in time to get the second run scoring Ernie Witt.
So 2 in for the Blue Jays here in the 4th inning. The Red Sox lead now 7-3. 1 out, runners at first and second. Here's Garth Orge. Seaver on the breaking ball, low and outside, ball 1. 2 RBI for Fernandez with that base hit. Now gives him 29 on the year. Wow, swing by Orge, 1-1. I don't know that there is anything else they can try to do to Mr. Fernandez. They seem like they've done everything. He just seems to cover the entire strike zone. Fly ball right field. Evans will drop back. Now Plants has the catch. Garcia tags. He will head for third and get there safely as the throw is cut off by Romero. So that's 2 down in the top of the 4th inning. Runners at first and third. And Lloyd Mosby will step in. We'll pause here for station identification. This is the TV 38 Red Sox Network.
You are tuned to WLBZ, Channel 2, Bangor.
Mosby, 2 for 2 on the night. And a single to left, an RBI single to left in the Toronto 1st inning, and a bunt single that Seaver and Gedman kind of got crossed up on. Off-speed pitch out in front, 0-1. Mosby giving you some style around that plate. There's Garcia, the runner over at third. And Tony Fernandez at first. Fernandez 12 for 19 against Boston pitching in 1986. Matters not if it's right-handed or left-handed. Infield just about dead straight away for Mosby. As he goes to the right side, Barrett is there. Squeezes it, throws him out. And the top of the 4th inning is over for the Blue Jays. They do a little damage, though. 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave a couple. And after 3.5, Boston leads by 4. The 4th inning, the Red Sox will try to answer those somehow with the thick part of their order. The number 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up against reliever Dennis Lamp. He'll be working his first full inning of work. The strike over from Lamp. A little hard to tell whether the 3 days of rest would have any effect on Alexander tonight, but certainly an un-Alexander-ish type night, giving the Red Sox the 7 runs on the 8 hits. Spoil and foul away opposite side. Buckner down in the count 0-2. John Grubb has hit a solo homer for the Tigers in the top of the 5th inning. That inning's still alive at Yankee Stadium for the Tigers. So that score now at least 2-1 with the Tigers still hitting. Both starters, Tanana for Detroit and Drabek for the Yankees, still working. Buckner tries to get up to a high fastball and doesn't do it. He's down on strikes. Pretty good month of June for you right there. 340, 16 driven in. Lamp into Rice, 0-1. Rice on the night 2 for 2. A single and scored a run in the first. A double, scored a run in the third. Lamp really working in his strong suit right now. Last year, so successful with the Blue Jays, working when his club was down in the score. Kind of held things at bay, give them a chance to get back in it.
Well, he was a revelation for them last year. He did so many things for them when they needed him to come in, go long, go short, get to the 8th or 9th, and Henke later.
Rice reaches for one, slips it into right field. Barfield giving chase toward the line. He'll fire it back in quickly, and Rice is 3 for 3. He continues his hot hitting, not only in the American League, but against the Blue Jays. He's spanked it all around the park on him.
So they throw him outside, and he goes outside. Just plumps it out there in the right field, kind of on a flat-footed hit. And he has 3 for 3.
Baylor up with Rice at first. No contact on that wide slider. That base hit by Rice, his 101st of the 86 season. Jimmy coming in tonight with 98 base hits. He's going to watch that 330 mark jump up a little bit, too. Once again, they go breaking ball on Donnie, and it's 1-1. Boggs 3 hits shy of 100 now at 97. Little mustard on that pitch from Lamp, and it's 1-2 to Baylor. The hit leaders in the American League, Kirby Puckett with 113. Now something that John McNamara wants to talk over with plate umpire Larry McCoy. Maybe about a pause on the set or what? I don't know.
Something to do with
the drawstring on his uniform. I don't know if that's done.
Traction.
I think, you know, he was working last night with that drawstring out. I don't know if he does it on purpose. Maybe.
That's a new one.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Baylor. Little soft liner. That will fall in for a base hit. just in front of George Bell as Baylor was out in front of a lamp pitch. That's a little bit toward the end, and the Texas League fly ball in there.
Sooner or later, they said, you know, this ball club's got to be hitting, because they were winning games without the big guys hitting much. Now they're all seeming to put it together again. That was a breaking ball that Baylor hit, and he just kind of looped it out into left field, got it muscled out there, and the Red Sox have runners at first and second.
Second base hit given up by Lamp. Red Sox have reached double figures now in base hits. That's their 10th on the night. Here's Dwight Evans. His hit a big one in the first. Driving in 3 runners. Dwight thought that pitch from Lamp a bit low. Talking to Dwight this afternoon about his plate appearance last night on that 3-1 count. He said, I had such a small strike zone. It was so small, in fact, that it was just enough room for that baseball to get into it. He said if it had been there, I was really going to unload on it. I wasn't about to take a 3-1 pitch if it was where I wanted it. He looked so determined even after he had taken ball 4. Of course, he has to make his way down to the bag. He flipped the bat away in joy. There was nothing anger about that, but his concentration seemed to still be on that time at bat. And he said, you're right, it was, until I got to the bag and said, wait a minute, the game's over. Then it broke. Pops this one foul back just to our right. I think that's one thing that we talk about Evans being such a good 3-0, 3-1 hitter, 2-0 hitter. That concentration has to be strong so that you don't do something with a go for a bad pitch. You set one little area. If that ball's in it, you work on it. Reaches for this one, and it's foul at third. No balls, 2 strikes to Dwight as Rice and Baylor return to second and first. 1 down in the bottom of the 4th inning. Boston leading by 4. Bruce Hurst threw a little bit this afternoon. Tomorrow night's starter just to his left, your right, Roger Clemens, the Rocket. Hurst said, I threw just hard enough today to keep from getting into a real pushing point with that groin injury. It did not hurt him at all today. Evans, very patient, has looked over another close pitch.
Well, they're starting to get them back. Steve Crawford is back now from Oklahoma after attending the funeral of his grandmother. Had some plane problem yesterday. He's available. Sammy Stewart expected to come off this week.
Fernandez sneaking behind Rice, but the throw too high from Lamp. Fernandez just tiptoeing along, and all of a sudden saw no movement by Rice and went ahead and tried to work the pickoff. Hard to tell exactly if Hurst has been set back at all with a couple of those times that he has thrown. Fernandez again back there, and again not in time, but a great deal closer this time.
I'll say. Good move, quick throw. Down a little bit more. Might have had a chance on getting Jim. Down around the knee with the throw.
Rice with a pretty safe lead. You get that lead where you can watch the pitcher, length of your body in 2 steps. You're all right. One bounce right back to Lamp. Fernandez for 1. And in time to Upshaw as they turn the 1-6-3 double play that ends the Red Sox 4th inning. They do not score on a couple of hits. They leave one. As we go to inning number 5, Boston leading Toronto 7-3. No errors for the Blue Jays. 7 runs, 10 hits, and no errors for the Red Sox. Tom Seaver trying to make it number 1 in a Red Sox uniform. Ned?
All right, Monty. George Bell first up against Seaver. fifth inning. Ball one. Bell has grounded to third and flied to right. Seaver ran into the main difficulty in the fourth inning. Very high foul. Back is Gedman. Ooh. Circled it a little bit. Got to the wagon and made the catch. One out.
That wind blowing out tonight continues to blow to straightaway center field. That ball with all kinds of spin on it. Gedman right there, sure of it all the way. You're right, that is a horrible way to go back to that dugout. Doesn't do you any good to run because it's going to be foul.
Stand there. Barfield up, taking ball one from Seaver. Barfield has walked and struck out. Again, the three infielders on the left side, as they have been in the series so far, last night and tonight. Barrett shoved over there, along with Romero and Boggs. Fouled off to the right side, chased by Buckner, and no chance. Barfield will be followed by Johnson. There, we got one. Ooh.
Wow, that's a ball that Tom Seaver threw.
Barfield will give them somebody else one. Somewhere down there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Red Sox have 7 runs and 10 hits. And Toronto 3 runs and 7 hits. Seaver bore down after Fernandez got him for a 2-run single. Jesse pumps one to the right side, almost knocking down Roger Clemens. 2-2. And then he got Orge on a fly ball to right and Mosby on a ground ball to second to get out of further trouble. The Blue Jays left 2 in that inning. They have stranded 6 so far. Down into right center field comes Evans and can't get it. Goes behind him all the way to the wall. Barfield streaking around second. He will head for third and get there. Ball hung out on a line toward right center, and Evans fielded it, and it played him.
I think Dwight must have lost that ball in the lights or something. He's coming along, and all of a sudden, he takes a hitch or some kind of a funny step. Lost the hat there. He's lost that ball. Somehow it either come out of the light tower on the right side. Something.
Yeah, he wasn't with his eye on it or anything.
Oh.
It's a triple. 3-base hit for Jesse Barfield. That's a given when you get him running and the ball out that far. He pitches away on a short ball behind Gedman. No advance. Cliff Johnson is the hitter. He's 1 for 2. He's singled in the 4th. Well, Seaver kept working. Seaver and Gedman kept working Barfield out that way after the infield was playing him to pull. So he just kept shooting a couple of foul balls that way, one in the dugout, one on the first base side. And he just eventually found the area in there for the triple. Beach balls flying all over the place out there now. 2 have gotten on the field. A couple more will be headed that way. Buckner is explaining things to Seaver about this. He says, you're going to see this. You thought it was tough in Comiskey, huh? So hopefully they're going to be running out of things. Maybe they ought to advance the price on those things and people wouldn't buy so many. There's a Canadian banner. So it's carnival time at Fenway Park. Mr. Seaver. One ball and no strikes to Cliff Johnson. Barfield at third, 1 out. It's a breaking pitch to Johnson for a strike. That's the kind of pitch that the Red Sox have been getting him out on. The series up there and the series down here.
Oops. A little straightening up of those shoulders. Once they make a backward move, hitter has given up, and he is going to be just about lost.
A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Johnson goes for the pitch in on him. Strike 2. This is when Seaver would like to get this man and keep that runner at third and then have a chance to work on Upshaw with 2 out.
As a hitter, it wouldn't matter who the hitter would be here. Seaver's put too many thoughts in this hitter's head. He's seen a good curve. He's seen a fastball that had a tail on it he couldn't handle. What would you look for here?
Off speed down the third. It'll be a run. Boggs fires to Buckner for the out. Johnson gets an RBI. Now it's 7-4. Red Sox lead is 3 runs. RBI for Johnson, his 39th. So they plate Barfield, who got the third on the triple.
Here's a situation that at one time you could have bet what would happen. Tom Seaver would have had that strike up right. He would have had the strikeout right in his back pocket. He tries it there. That hard slider. Actually, you have to give Cliff a little credit because he went after a pretty tough pitch and was able to get the bat on it and keep it somewhere between or in fair territory to produce a run.
Now 2 out, bases clear, and Willie Upshaw. Ball 1. Upshaw's popped up twice on Seaver, once to third and once to short. It's a 2-0 count. Blue Jays coming back a little by little, and now trail by only 3. And on a night like this, with the wind blowing out, they're very much in the ball game. Hammered down right side, past the backhand of Barrett, out into shallow right center field, and Upshaw's on. It's an error charge to Barrett.
Marty gets to this ball. He wants to go to the backhand, maybe honoring the speed a little bit of Upshaw. Has that ball hit up off the big outside edge of the glove, the thumb or the little finger side of it, right into that short outfield grass, and Marty will have to turn and now get himself back together to go shag it.
First error of the game. The hitter is Ernie Whitt, and he is 2 for 2 against Seaver. 2 singles. Scored a run in the 4th. Jackknifes away, ball 1. Four runs and 8 hits for Toronto. 7 runs, 10 hits for Boston, and 1 error with the Red Sox. Big cut by Whitt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner goes, high fly ball. Right field, Barrett out, Evans in. Out number 3. Toronto gets a run. And after 4 1/2, it's Boston 7, Toronto 4. Neutralized the homer by Johnny Grubb. They got 2 more in the 5th inning, and it's the Yankees 4, Detroit 1 after 5. Tanana against Drabek. Freddie Lynn has hit a 2-run homer for Baltimore in the 5th inning, and the Orioles lead Milwaukee 5-3 after 5 innings of play. Wegman against Flanagan. Minnesota and Texas, no score after 3 at Arlington. Cleveland shut out Oakland today 9-0. The National League, Montreal and the Cubs had a game suspended 0-0 after 7. They will resume play before tomorrow afternoon's game at Wrigley. Philadelphia 2, the Pirates 1 in the 6th inning at Pittsburgh. Shue has homered. Rick Shue has homered for Philadelphia. Maddox against Seaver. 1 ball, no strikes to Rich Gedman. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning at Fenway Park. Red Sox leading 7-4. Gedman, slow ground ball to Upshaw. Bobbles the ball. Throws it away. Goes into the dugout. And Gedman will get second base. And a double error charged to Willie Upshaw, a usually very reliable first baseman. Boy, how often do you see him? They do that. Ball slowly hit with a little bit of spin, admittedly so, by Gedman, but an ordinary major league out. It just squibs off the glove of Upshaw, chases it down, then makes a desperation backhand to the pitcher covering. It gets way past Lamp, and by going into the dugout, that allows Gedman another base. So it's a double error on Upshaw. Kevin Romine is the batter. Bunts toward third, and that will advance Gedman. Romine gets the sacrifice. Nice bunt placed down there by Kevin Romine. So the rookie has got his double his second time up tonight. Drops a very classy bunt down. He causes the third baseman Orge to come in, make the play, and third base is empty except for Rick Gedman. Runner at third. One out. Here is Romero, who was grounded to short and walked. The infield is in for Toronto. Eddie bounces to third. They will hold Gedman. Orge throws high, and it gets off the glove of Upshaw. Gedman scores. And the Blue Jays are coming unraveled at the seams. All the time in the world for Garth Orge to make that play. He throws it high, but it wasn't that high. And it went off the glove of Upshaw. Now there, normally you'd have 2 outs and a runner at third. Instead of that, you've got 1 out, and a run in. There have been 3 errors this inning. See who they give that to. It was not a good throw, but it was not a horrible throw. They're checking it out, and it's an error charge to Upshaw. No run batted in. And it's an 8-4 game. Red Sox lead. 3 Upshaw errors in this inning. An assist will be given to Orge. And Romero ends up at second base. Barrett up. 1 ball, no strikes. There is a major league unearned run, too. Barrett, fly ball to center field, sending Mosby back. Romero tags. And Mosby fires to the cutoff man, Fernandez. 2 outs. Wade Boggs is up, and Dennis Lamp must wonder about this inning a little bit. He very easily could be on the bench at this time, waiting for his club to come out and hit. They will pass Boggs. Boggs has walked, doubled, and lined to left, and they won't mess with him with first base open. He went to his mouth, and that will be charged a ball. So it doesn't make much difference if they're going to put him on, unless he makes a bad pitch, meaning getting it over the plate for Boggs to hit. There's the intentional pass to Boggs. Runners at first and second. Take a look at that error on the throw to first base. There's the first error by Upshaw. And there's the second one. And dive. Look at the catcher, Ernie Witt, trying to save that extra base, but he couldn't. So here's Buckner up with runners at first and second and 2 out. Hit toward the middle and into center field. This will have a run. Romero scores. 9-4. They get 2 of them back. Bill Buckner in his first hit. You almost knew it was going to happen after the way Toronto's been playing this inning.
That'll be the way you'd want to cap it off, I suppose, wouldn't it? Take advantage of something the Red Sox have done so many times this year. Once again, that intentional walk to Boggs by the Blue Jays has come back to haunt them. Cost them a game, virtually or literally cost them a game in Toronto, setting up some work up there. Keep passing him and it keeps hurting him.
Here's Jim Rice up. He's 3 for 3 and hitting right now at .337. He has picked up 7 points. To third base and Orge. They get the force out on Buckner, and this one's finally over. A nightmare for Toronto as 2 unearned runs score. And after 4 1/2, the Red Sox have the big lead back again, 9-4. Fisher and Renee Latchman will hold one more baseball clinic at Fenway, sponsored by Kool-Aid on July 5th at 9:30. The clinic will open to anyone attending the Red Sox game under the youth group program who brings 5 Kool-Aid packets. Participants will be able to enter the ballpark at 9 in the morning through the service gate. For further information on the Red Sox Kool-Aid Baseball Clinic, phone 262-1915. Well, a real Shakespeare comedy of errors just happened for the Red Sox as 2 unearned runs came. Willie Upshaw will never have an inning like that again. Oil Can Boyd down there with Roger Clemens. They're having fun. And Seaver, starting his 6th inning, has seen everything happen in his favor. He's leading 9-4. He's given up 4 runs and 8 hits, but it hasn't mattered so far. Garcia, the batter. Damaso has had a fielder's choice and a walk. Strike 1, 2-1. Red Sox saw their lead go from 7-3 to 7-4, a 3-run lead, and then now they have a 5-run lead. Ball hit straight away to center field. Kevin Romine. 1 out. Tony Fernandez. Well, he's up with nobody on base. I just learned that Willie Upshaw has tied a major league record for those 3 errors. Fernandez double and a single in 3 trips. He's hitting .319. There's a bunt chopped foul off to the left side as Fernandez tries another way to get on. And with his speed, it's not a bad idea. 1 ball, 1 strike. Upshaw has tied a major league record held by 4 other players of 3 errors in 1 inning by a first baseman. George Metcovich of the Red Sox did it in 1945, the war year, last war year. Tommy McCraw did it in '68 in the American League. Ball inside to Fernandez. Dolph Camilli of the Phillies did it in 1935, and he was a very good fielding first baseman. And Al Oliver of the Pirates did it in 1969. Now Upshaw joins them. There's a strike to Fernandez. 2-2. 1 out in the Toronto 6th inning. Red Sox lead 9-4. There's one smack to right, foul. Picked on that inside pitch. There's nothing else he could have done with that one but foul it off. Seaver has given up 8 hits along the way. including a triple to Barfield and a double to Fernandez, the 2 extra base hits. Tap toward Barrett. He's going to have to hurry. He does. He gets him by a step. 2 down.
Even when you get the little guy out, he makes it kind of tough on you. No chance for Marty to tarry at all on this play. He's got to quickly make the transfer, get himself set so that he can get something on the throw to throw out the speedy Fernandez. Boom.
Garth Orge. And a strike. 0-1 to Orge. He has been 0 for 2 tonight. Came on to replace the injured Rance Mullenix in the second. Mullenix chopped a foul off his right shin and had to leave the game. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hammered to third and Boggs. And Tom Seaver has his first 1-2-3 inning. After 5 1/2, the Red Sox lead 9-4. Yankees still hold a 4-1 lead over the Tigers. They're in the 7th inning now. Baltimore leading Milwaukee 5-3 in the 6th at Baltimore. Pete O'Brien's hit a 2-run homer for Texas. They lead the Twins 2-0 after 4 at Arlington. Portugal against Charlie Huff. The White Sox play at California later. Bannister against Cook. Cook, the fellow the Angels just brought up. Cleveland shut out Oakland today, 9-0. Kansas City plays later at Seattle. Lee Brandt will go against Gudeman. Don Baylor is first up. Bottom of the 6th inning. The rather luckless Dennis Lamp is on the mound. And Baylor takes a strike. Baylor 1 for 2. And he's been hit by a pitch so far tonight. In case you joined us late. 0-2. Philadelphia leads Pittsburgh 2-1 in the 7th at Pittsburgh. Atlanta 4, San Francisco 4 in the 7th at Atlanta. Baylor checks his swing and gets a base hit. That's how well things are going for the Red Sox tonight. Little check swing and a soft kind of liner into right field for Baylor, his second hit.
Boy, the reaction of Lamp right after he sees this find a hole in that right side is take the bill of that hat and just cover his eyes up. He says, I can't believe this is all going on.
That's a pretty good pitch on a guy. Here's Bill Caudle, who worked briefly last night. And they don't trust too much to Caudle anymore in big situations. Here's Evans, and Dwight has what really set the tone for the Red Sox so far tonight in the 1st inning. A bases-loaded double clearing them up. 3-run double. He's 1 for 3. Ooh, Donald get back. In that San Francisco-Atlanta game, Chili Davis hit a home run for San Francisco. And he tries again over there, and again, Baylor is back to the bag. Rafael Ramirez stole home on the front end of a double steal in that game also for Atlanta. Braves have won 5 in a row going into this one. Falling back in is Baylor, so experienced in all this. Hard cut that time by Evans. 1 strike to Dwight. The Dodgers are leading Cincinnati 2-1 Fourth inning, and it's raining in Cincinnati. Jeff Hamilton has hit a home run, his first in the major leagues. Two-run job for the Dodgers. The Mets are leading the Cardinals 2-0 after 3 at St. Louis. Mookie Wilson has hit a home run for the Mets. Sid Fernandez trying for his 10th win. Danny Cox going for the Cards. Here's a strike to Evans. And San Diego leads Houston at the Dome 2-0, fourth inning. Eric Shaw against Knudsen. Two-strike count to Dwight Evans. 1-2. Dennis Lamp came on to relieve the starter Doyle Alexander, who was shelled out of there in the third inning when the Red Sox got 3 runs to make it 7 total. He's pitched well enough, but he's had no support behind him. Things are just going badly. 2 unearned runs given up by him. There's one that's earned. Thing shot to the center field wall. Baylor will go to third. Throw to second base. Dwight Evans has a 2-base hit. Runners at second and third. Hard double off the left center field wall. And Evans has 2 hits. Both of them doubles.
Oscar stirring around in that Toronto dugout. The sign given out by Jimmy Williams there. The left-hander coming up, first base open, because of this double by Evans. Now, once again, another part of this order, this batting order, taking charge during the course of a ball game, really from start to end. Baylor easily goes to third, of course. Evans with the stand-up double.
Red Sox now have 13 hits, and they're going to put Gedman on. Take their chances with Kevin Romine. Intentional walk being given to Gedman, who's already had 2 hits and reached on the double error by Upshaw. Red Sox leading 9-4 and threatening for more. There is ball 4. So the bases are loaded, full of Red Sox with nobody out in the 6th. And Kevin Romine coming up. He struck out in the first. He hit a double, driving in a run in the third, going down into the left field corner. And he sacrificed very well in the 5th. Nice punt. Down in New York, Darrell Evans has hit a home run for the Tigers to get 1 back. Yankees 4, Tigers 2, bottom of the 7th. A slider for a strike. Baylor, Evans, and Gedman on the bases. And another breaking pitch for another strike. 0-2. The 2 walks that Lamp has given up have been intentional. Almost throws it away on an 0-2 count. Good save by catcher Ernie Witt.
Oh, he had a lot of ground to cover to get to that ball. No chance of it coming back to him. He's got to go to it because it's working away from him on the breaking ball. All the way in the middle of that other batter's box.
3 straight breaking balls thrown to Romine. 1-2. There's a fastball smacked over that outside corner, and Romine is frozen. That is strike 3. Good pitch by Lamp.
Well, it's kind of hard to think of Lamp setting this pitch up with all those breaking balls, but almost it appears that way. That's right where Witt was setting. That fastball tailing right back on that outside corner. And Romine is gone.
Romero, the batter. Eddie has grounded out and walked and reached on another Upshaw error. To third. Orge to second. Garcia to first. They pick up the double play around the horn, and the Red Sox do not score. So after 6, it is 9-4 Boston. The 6th inning and ended it rather quickly after the one strikeout on Romine. Romero hit the ball hard, but there is a perfect chance for the 5-4-3 around the horn double play. And this time, everybody catches the ball for Toronto, and they get the double play easily. And no runs score. There's still 3 innings to go left in this ball game. Of course, the Red Sox do have that 5-run lead, and this man here, Monty, realizes he's with a different team in a different kind of ballpark.
Well, he certainly does, and no matter what kind of ballpark you're in, that 5-run lead, the perfect one, that tying run can never come to the plate as long as you hold on to that 5-run edge. For Seaver, he'll be going into the 7th inning here tonight. Mosby to lead it off for the Blue Jays. And the soft breaking ball. We've seen that quite a few times from Seaver tonight. None of them have been over for strikes, but I remember on a number of occasions against some Red Sox hitters, especially Tony Armas, Seaver would just take that pitch and just kind of thumb it up there. As a hitter, you kind of do a double take. You see it, and it looks very hittable, and all of a sudden you realize you're fooled completely. You don't have anything left to hit it with. Good breaking ball there. Bites that outside corner. 1-1. Mike Brown, Steve Crawford loosening in the Red Sox bullpen. Crawford may be back just at the right time. 3 innings of work for Bob Stanley last night to pick up his 5th win.
Yeah, talking to Steamer tonight, he said he could have gone another inning last night, but he said none tonight.
That's right. Well, that would make him available certainly for tomorrow night and Thursday night if the need should arise. 2-1 now to Mosby. And it's 3-1 there as that pitch from Seaver misses low. Seaver in 8 previous starts out of his 12 has worked into the 6th inning, so he's worked that up. This will be ninth time that he's done that. And certainly that is just about what John McNamara would be tickled to death with every time.
Absolutely.
3-2 to the big center fielder of the Blue Jays. To the left side, Boggs on the trap hop backhand. Mosby's out, number 1. Good play by the Red Sox third baseman.
The trap hop play is hard enough to make, but off the backhand it makes it doubly so. He comes and takes that little quick hop, and that glove has to be accurately right there. Can't deviate an inch or the ball's in left field, and a nice play by Boggs.
Boggs back deep at third now as George Bell steps in. Just a bit low. Bell on the night 0 for 3. Had the ball out of the infield one time. That was on a fly ball to Evans. Off speed and over. And it's a 1-1 count. Ooh. Boy, in the National League, Larry McCoy shaking his head as if, wait a minute, I didn't hear that, did I?
Well, here it is. There's the strike. Well, mercy.
And Bell sure not set yet. Something maybe flying up in his eye. He was pawing and scratching around at that right eye before. And he's asked for the trainer to come out. No dust or anything swirling around. Could have been a little bug of something.
Yeah, that could happen out there near the plate on a summer night. He wants treatment, and yet he shakes his head away from it. That, of course, can bother you, and you know it better than anybody. Not only batting, but catching. If you get in something in your eye, you just really can't play until you get it out.
Well, to be quite honest with you, Ned, when you're a 257 lifetime hitter, you had a lot of bugs or something.